Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Smoke Sesh podcast. You guys, mama sleepy. I am tired, but like a good exhausted, you know what I mean? I think like peak summer experience is being that like mid-afternoon sleepy because you've just been doing so much all day, like a little burnout from the sun, and you finally get into some AC and you're like, wow, what a day. That's kind of how I've been feeling, honestly, like the past entire week. Talk about summer maxing last week, okay? I really have been, taking my advice and putting it into fruition, actually taking advantage of the day, getting outside, going on multiple walks, going to events, meeting new friends, hanging out around horses. Girls, I have been booked and busy in the best way possible. I think sometimes, I try to avoid exhaustion, avoid being tired, but really that just like minimalizes how much I can actually fit in a day. And being tired at the end of the day is a good thing. I sleep better. I sleep like a freaking rock. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. I'm also able to fall asleep faster because I feel like maybe there's no more energy. Like we need to close our eyes and replenish. And I feel satisfied with my days. I'm not waking up or going to bed going, damn, I wish I would have done that. Or, I wish I would have gone and done this, or lived this experience or gotten this chore done. It's like I just have been nose to the grindstone, working hard, enjoying life, and it's been so nice. I made a new friend. We went to theater in the park this week. That was such a vibe. Like Shakespeare in the Park, they do it for free every year in Kansas City, and every single year I go, I want to go to that, and I never do, either because it's too hot, or I don't have anybody to go with, or it's too late, or why would I do that in the middle of the week? Like excuses. This time I was like, no more excuses. No more heat excuses. No more this, no more that. She's down, I'm down. Let's fucking go. And it was a blast. They were doing Macbeth, baby. I couldn't tell you one singular thing that happened during that play, but it was drama. There were witches. I was fucking with the vibes. And there was one line that's become my new vocal stim of the week, which is, "Aren't thou a man?" Oh my God, I heard that. And I was like, yeah, I'm adding that to my vocabulary immediately. New vocal stim unlocked. But that was amazing. 4th of July was pretty freaking chill. It was actually, I had the day off, and it was raining here, which is probably for the best, so the fireworks weren't just igniting the entire city on fire. There is no fireworks ban. You can light them off where I'm from, so we're not really worried about like wildfires here, if I'm being honest. But I was so excited. I was like, let's go to the pool, let's go to a pool party, let's go to this, let's go to that. And then my plans were kind of like extinguished quite literally by the rain. So it was a very chill little 4th of July day. We did end up, I had a hot dog, bucket list things, had a hot dog, lit off some freaking fireworks, made some jello shots. Those were fire. People really enjoyed those. That recipe is up on Instagram right now if you're interested. But it was a good little celebration. My brother ended up in town, so I got to take my niece and my nephew to go meet Xena, my horse, because they were like, it's our turn now. My dad's met her. My mom's met her. All right, now it's time for my brother, sister-in-law, niece, and nephew to meet her. And they're still like little. Like they're probably 4, almost 4 and almost 6. So they're just like teeny tiny little dudes. So they can't ride, okay? Like that's pretty young to put on a horse, and like liability purposes. Like I don't think you're allowed to ride horses until you're 8. At least my barn where I am, that's just the insurance things. So it's like, what can they do? And they've been doing summer camps in my barn recently, and all the horses in the pasture were rainbow, like painted rainbow. I was like, what's going on with this? They're like, oh, it's too hot for the little kids to ride right now for the summer camp. So we broke out the paint and they got to paint the horses. I was like, you can do that? Okay, new activity unlocked. Get some horse safe paint. Yes, horse safe paint. Human safe paint as well. And I didn't even know they made like paint for horses. It's so funny. I didn't know that this was like a thing that happens. People paint their horses, especially on 4th of July. Apparently people paint their horses like the flag. I was like, I am not that patriotic, but let's go like rainbow dash version. Let's give her a little cutie mark. And so the kids came and they got to paint her down and make her all colorful. It was so sweet. They got to go meet all the horses and give them some pets and give them some treats. They were just living their best life, enjoying their time out on the farm. It was so nice to also introduce them to their first ever horse. I don't think they've ever met a horse, so that was so fun. And Xena is so good. I mean, she's a been there, done that kind of horse, so she don't give a fuck at all, truly, as long as you're feeding her treats. She's like, let's go. Like, you can do honestly whatever you want. So she was just living her best life, enjoying the treats, enjoying the children. That was fabulous. And yeah, I have just been, we ended up at the river. We went swimming in the river. I went floating in the river. Me, my tall boy, and my sparkly inner tube against the world, just floating around. That was fantastic. I'm hoping to get to the pool today. I'm telling you, when I say summer maxing, I'm not joking. There's no more time, baby. It is July. Yes, I said that out loud. I feel like for so long, like all winter, and honestly, even through the spring, I was like, summer. Babe, summer is here. Summer is happening. Summer is summering. And if you don't take advantage of it right now, you are going to miss out. I'm not lying. And I don't mean to stress you out. We got work. We got obligations. We got things to do. I understand. You got to be inside for your 9 to 5. Valid, real. But any ounce of free time that you do have, get out there. Go do one new thing. Go do one new thing that you've been craving to do, wanting to do for the past 8 summers in a row and just haven't gotten yourself to go do it. It's so worthwhile. It's so fun. And like I said, you might be exhausted at the end of the day because you kind of maxed yourself out. But what's better than living a fulfilled life and being a little exhausted than being well rested and having no fun things to look back on? You know what I mean? I also think it's the best way to really survive the winter, okay? We talk about harsh winters here. I'm ready to move to LA. I'm ready to get somewhere that there is no more winter. Can't wait for that. Will eventually. But I think I got one more winter coming up that I'm going to have to persevere through. And if you are a person who lives in a cold place where maybe winter lasts a little long, maybe you have a little seasonal depression moment, you know, you don't vibe with the cold. I don't know who vibes with the cold. I personally do not. If you do, congratulations. Jealous of you. Okay, I wish I could be into the skiing and the sloping and the tubing and the snowmobiling. No, baby. No, I'm meant to be on a beach next to an ocean in a forest, in a rainforest. Warm, okay? But the best way to survive winter is on memories and is on knowledge of past summer experiences, of feeling fulfilled from summer, so you can actually take that time to rest, relax from being so busy while the earth was warm, which, baby, it's really warm. But you know what I mean? I feel like last winter wasn't so hard on me because I was like, I really did everything I wanted to in the summertime. I went on a little girls trip. We went to some rodeos. I got into horseback riding. We went fruit picking. We went flower picking. I went frolicking. We went to the river like every single week. The only regret I had from last summer is I didn't get to the pool that often. So, you know, new activity unlocked. We're going to be doing that a little bit more this summer. But it does, you know, when you tire yourself out from all the summer maxing, summer activities, it is so nice when you are able to like fully invest in the relaxation of winter and you don't care so much that you're inside because, baby, you were outside for a little bit too long. So inside feels like a nice change of pace. You get to fully rest and relax, and then there's another summer upon us. But like I said, I'm just taking advantage of the weather as it comes. The rain is like, it's been like thunderstorming and then getting a million degrees outside. So I'm just trying to find the sweet spots where I can to be outside, to enjoy the weather, to get my fingers in some dirt, to go horseback riding, all of the activities, all of the things. And I feel so fulfilled, so excited. And you know what? So summery. I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling good. Like I said, if you haven't, you know, if you're like, oh my God, it's July, I haven't done anything, there's still time, baby. The earth's still going to be hot for quite some time, at least until early October, at least where I'm from. You have time, okay? Do not be afraid of being tired. Be afraid of living an unfulfilled life. That's what you should be fearful of. That's kind of how I feel. After work, when I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Oh, but you have plans, go do them. You know, you're going to be a little tired at those plans, but you're going to feel more fulfilled going to those things, doing that activity, living fully. than not doing them and going home, laying in bed and scrolling on your phone. No, that's not going to make you feel good. That's for sure. But yeah, today was a little wild. Talk about tired. My alarm's been going off quite early. I'm trying to max my days as much as possible. And so I'm trying to retrain my brain to wake up early, because I was in a moment where my wake up call was at like 9:30, which fabulous if I do say so myself. But then it's noon, and then it's 4, and then it's dinner time. Like, I feel like when I was waking up a little later, my days didn't feel so fulfilling. And also my work, since I work for myself most of the time, my work pushed almost to like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And it was like, damn, all I did was work all day. I have no time at the end of it to like, I don't know, do anything for me. You know what I mean? So my parents are in Croatia right now. They escaped the USA for a little bit of time to go vacation, as you do as a retired individual. You know, I don't blame them at all. But I'm watching their dog right now. So I have to wake up early. I have to force myself to wake up early to go walk their dog in the morning, usually around like 8 a.m. Okay, so that means my alarm's going off at 7 a.m. Yes, I have not woken up at 7 a.m. like daily in years, probably years. Okay, so my brain a little scrambled, a little screwed, a little fried right now, but also I'm getting so much shit done. I'm getting all my work done by 3 p.m. and then I'm like, wow, so much time for activity, so much room for activities. Fabulous, amazing. We're going on multiple walks a day with the dog, which is so nice to get some sun on my skin. I get to hang out in their backyard, do a little bonfire situation. I think I'm gonna do like roasted charcuterie. I saw this person make like a video on roasted charcuterie over a bonfire. I was like, yup, love that idea. Let's give it a try. But trying to condition your brain to do new things is actually the most difficult thing ever. It's like, I think I'd rather do anything else than try and recondition my brain, because me and my brain be fighting like siblings, honestly. I mean, who knows me better than myself? And I mean, listen, when that alarm goes off in the morning, there's nothing more I want to do than roll over, turn that shit off, pretend it didn't go off, set another one for 5 minutes later, you know, push off the agony of having to get up and get the fuck out of bed. But I've been doing good because I've set boundaries with myself. Okay. The thing about doing hard things is your brain doesn't want to do hard things. Your brain actually wants to do anything other than do hard things. Your brain, if given the opportunity, will always choose the path of least resistance. And even if you're trying to do a good thing for yourself, like, you know, okay, implementing this new habit or cutting out this bad habit, you know it's good for you, but your brain doesn't know the difference between good or bad or motivation. It just knows, damn, this is going to be hard because I'm not used to doing it. Okay. Sometimes our brains are a little lazy in that way. And we must work on our brains the same way we would a muscle. I have been doing that a lot recently with just habits, thought processes, routines, things like that. And so for me, when it comes to waking up early, it is like you get one alarm, okay? The alarm is going off early enough that I have enough time to get up and get ready so I'm not rushing. I don't like to get up and rush. That doesn't feel good. Okay, so like 30 minutes before I have to leave the house, the alarm goes off. And baby, that phone is right next to my head, blaring in my ear. So yes, I will wake up. Some people, I understand if you have a hard time waking up. Ooh, thank God I am not blessed with that gene, because I have so much anxiety in my body. All it takes is like a needle to drop in another room for me to be awake. Okay. So I'm good about waking up when my alarm goes off. It's the getting out of bed part that's hard. So I've been keeping a robe right next to my bed. So as soon as I sit up from bed, I throw my robe on. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I immediately stand up, and I also force myself to then go to the bathroom. Whether I have to go to the bathroom or not, I force myself to get up and at least walk to the bathroom, because simply standing up, moving your body, getting your brain a little bit more activated, not being horizontal anymore, gets you in the routine, gets that momentum going for you to then be able to actually, all right, next step, let's keep it moving, let's keep it pushing, let's not go lay down again, you know? But when you wake up and you're laying there, you're checking your phone and you're scrolling, you're like, maybe I should just, reset an alarm. Maybe I'll just push it back 15 minutes. No. Get up immediately, robe on, no scrolling on the phone in bed in the morning. go to the bathroom. When you're on the toilet, you can scroll on the phone. Congratulations. I also think a really good coffee in the morning is the perfect little, like, it's like dangling a carrot in front of a horse. Like, that's my motivation. That's all I need. Okay, maybe yours is like a really good breakfast, a really good snack. For me personally, really good coffee. That's all the motivation I need in the morning. A little dose of caffeine to get me up, get me excited. And then it's been nice because I'm immediately outside. I'm immediately out walking the dog, going on a little walk around the neighborhood. But even if you're not doing that, getting some sun on your face, walking out on your front patio, on your front porch, getting some sun on your face, some fresh air on your face. It's a fantastic way to completely wake yourself up. But yes, me and my brain, we've been fist fighting practically recently. And it's been nice to kind of exert some control over myself and get used to doing that instead of like letting my body choose whatever the fuck it wants to do, because obviously it's going to choose like the worst things possible for me. I don't know why that's my natural inclination, but it is. So it's been so nice to just like, all right, you know what? You can do it, but like it's going to take a little grit. It's going to take a little work. It's going to take a little effort. And yeah, you might hate your fucking life for 2 weeks as you try and figure out how to wake up early. Every single morning might feel like ripping your hair out, but eventually you're going to be looking forward to those 7 a.m. wake up times. And my goal, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is how I know I'm becoming an adult. My goal is to hopefully eventually get to like a 6:30 alarm. I know, that's wild, but I feel like I'll be able to fully max my fucking days out at 6:30. And also, if I want to start implementing a gym routine, I think I'm going to have to be a morning gym person. I do not think I am an afternoon gym person. And it is a big goal of mine to start getting into a good gym routine, like an everyday sort of gym routine. I'm hoping to, I think in August, I'm going to do a 30 hard, not a 75 hard, but a 30 hard Hannah's way, where I'm like, all right, 6:30 a.m. wake up times, working out every morning, or at least an activity every morning, trying to eat healthy, avoiding sugars, avoiding eating out, cooking all my food at home. I don't know. I have this whole big list. It'll be a fun little YouTube video. It'll be fun to take you guys along with me. I'm still trying to hone in on things, but we're starting low and slow to get our way there. But yeah, oh my God. Sorry, I've been yapping this whole time. As you guys know, I'm very good at it, but I think that's all I have to catch you guys up on. It's been a fun, really fun, honestly, little week, but it sounds like you guys have been booked and busy as well. So I want to get into your guys' questions finally and see what is on your mind. There's a lot of questions this week, so I'm going to try and do a little bit of a speed round situation. Someone asked, what helps you stay grounded when life gets hectic and big life changes are happening? Love you. Ooh. It's hard because especially when like the big life changes, if they're hard, even if they're exciting, they're still a little bit difficult. And so it's kind of hard to stay present or in the moment because you're having to like split your brain a little bit of like, okay, I need to be thinking about these things and looking at the situation fully, but also like I am here and now. And so I need to be present as well. And so it feels like you're doing the splits, but you don't know how to do the splits. So it actually just feels like you're ripping your body in half a little bit. You know what I mean? If you are not familiar with being grounded or getting into grounding, okay, now's the time to do so, especially because we are officially in a Mercury retrograde. Okay, not to get woo-woo spiritual astrological here, but things get crazy. Okay, you're gonna have maybe communication problems, maybe transportation problems, car problems, plane problems, travel problems, electronic problems, things of that sort, that sort of nature. So it's good to stay present and stay grounded in where you are, in order to, let these things pass. Let your anxieties about it pass. Let your worries about it pass. Because ultimately, even in hard situations or good situations that are maybe a little bit more challenging, the path of least resistance, okay, it's important to stay present in the moment, but also understand like, this too shall pass. If it's a hard time, this will pass. We'll be on to something better. You'll figure it out. If you go through a problem, communication issue, like we'll work it out eventually. Maybe tensions are high. Let's step away. Let's come back. And you might be like, Hannah, what the fuck is grounding? What's grounding? Do I go lay in the grass? I mean, Yeah, fantastic. That's a great thing to do. For me, grounding is all about putting yourself in the present moment, but in a healthy way. Even if the anxieties are about the present moment, just like acceptance of the present moment. Great habits to get into for grounding are deep breathing. I love deep breathing, especially as like a very highly anxious individual. Deep breathing through situations. If my, heart rate is going up, understanding that like, it's just a natural body function, but going through some deep breathing techniques, in, out, counting from 4 to 8 with your breaths, elongating them, if I'm in a high stress situation, maybe like I'm hanging out with a new group of friends, or we're all at a bar. Maybe you're just like in a family situation, whatever it is, and there's a lot of people around you and you're getting anxious from all the people around you. Removing yourself from that, maybe going to the bathroom, stepping away from a moment, doing some deep breathing, collecting your thoughts, grounding yourself back to the present moment before you go back out there to interact with more people. Even like just splashing some water on your face, getting yourself back to the moment instead of like dissociating. Another very, very popular one is like, what is it called? Like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, where you name 5 things you see around you, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. And it gets you to just like either stop dissociating so hard, or also to just like ground you back to where you are, really fully put yourself back into your body in a healthy way. That's a fantastic grounding method. Like I said, literally go rolling around in the dirt, putting your feet in some grass. Great thing to do. Getting some sun on your face. If you're in an office building and someone's stressing you the fuck out on the phone, like pause, bathroom break, step away, go outside, walk around your building, come back to it. And it's important that these are things that are not necessarily getting you focused on whatever problems occurring, or getting you focused on whatever, issue that you are facing, anxiety that you are facing, good or bad. It just gets you into your body, into the moment, and kind of reroutes the nervous system back into a calm, cool, collected space. So this is a fantastic thing to practice, especially during this retrograde season, where you might find, random ops popping back up that you're like, damn, I wish I never would have seen you again. Random exes in your DMs, accidents, communication issues, random people cussing you out in the street. Like literally the craziest shit just be happening, especially now more so than ever. And I've noticed like the general public, maybe not you, but the general public's tensions have been kind of high recently. I think the heat is definitely not helping. But I've been in my car a lot recently, just driving around. And I feel like people have been honking more often, yelling more often, not at me, but just at each other. And it's like, okay, let's not let that energy encroach on our space. Let's take a moment to protect our own energy, protect our own peace, ground ourselves, because honestly, that shit don't fucking matter. It takes a lot for me to get like angry, upset, because it's like when I want to exert that energy, it needs to be on something that's actually important. Being angry and upset and irritated all the fucking time is such a waste of emotions and like mental space, that it's like I have to kind of be picky about what I allow to piss me off. Otherwise, I'm going to be pissed off all the fucking time. And that's not a way to live. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been there where it's like, damn, why am I such an angry bitch all the time? Oh, because I'm allowing myself to be angry at everything. That random person that just cut you off in traffic, they don't matter. They don't matter. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. That's not the one thing you need to be perseverating on. The random bill that pops up, it's like, no, there's no stress. You'll figure it out. You'll pay it off. Whatever you need to do, like you'll get to it eventually. The random customer who's giving you a side eye, they don't matter. They're gonna eat and leave. So the grounding really helps me realize, A, what's worth my energy, protect my peace a little bit, and also not let that negative energy encroach on my territory, encroach on my space, and fuck up my fucking day. Because that's the last thing I'm going to let any stranger do, is fuck up my day. Okay? My day. No. Second half of the year, I'm feeling the fire, galloping with more confidence, strength. Oh, I absolutely feel this. Whatever shifted in the stars recently, or in the energy recently, it's put me in a place where like, baby, I don't give a fuck. And in like a very, very healthy way, in a way that like something shifted in my brain, a puzzle piece connected, and it's like, actually, I don't care in the best possible detached sense of the word, where it's like, yes, I'm very in tune, I'm grounded, I'm connected, woo woo spiritual, like I feel everything, but also it's like, I don't need to feel everything. Like I said, that random person who cut me off of traffic, that they don't fucking matter. Random people in my DMs cussing me out, like, girl, I don't care about you. You know what I mean? Not that that really ever happens, but I'm just trying to think of random examples. So, yes, I agree. I work with horses, so I'm around this kind of confidence and strength often where yes, they can be like highly anxious individuals, but when they're in their own territory and when they're in their own area, like these animals do not give a fuck. Okay. They know they're 1,500 pounds and they know they can kind of fuck with you. And it's like, if they don't want to go somewhere, some of them just won't. You know, I've worked with very, very stubborn horses where it's like you're kicking and trying to get them to go. And baby, if they don't want to go, they won't. And it's all because of confidence and knowing themselves, knowing that they can also like, you know, exert that power over you of like, no, we're not going anywhere. But confidence, strength, and understanding themselves. And I truly am entering an era of my life where it's like, I have that internal confidence. I have that internal strength. And truly nothing can fuck with me when I have that. Now, is it like based in facts and understanding? No, not really. It's really just based in trust. Like whether I fuck up, I mess up, I find myself in a weird situation, I understand that no matter what, I will figure it out. I will handle that shit. I will come out on the other side stronger. And through that, I feel a very heightened sense of strength and confidence. And it has just been so incredibly nice. Also, I just feel free. It's like, it's summer, it's hot out. Let's get outside. Let's go do activities, galloping away, running around with my girls, running around, having fun, doing random activities. The fire horse energy, I feel like, has fully come into fruition now that it's summer. And I think everybody's kind of feeling it. Everybody's, especially with the World Cup, everybody's out doing things, interacting with people, having a good time, trusting in themselves, following through, and not giving a fuck in the best possible way. Because, you know, you can not give a fuck and it's like, okay, you're just evil. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Just don't use that as an excuse to be evil, but use it as an excuse to be like, you know what? No, I trust myself. You know what? No, I know what's right. You know what? Fuck it. I will follow my intuition. What do I have to lose? Nothing. There's nothing to lose ever. You can lose yourself. That's the last thing you want to lose. But ultimately, it's like this fuck it mindset of like, there's only one life. We only have summer for a little bit longer. It's hot outside. Yes, there's random shit occurring in the city. Let's go out. Let's live our lives. Let's go after things. Let's try new things. Let's not let this person step on our toes, step over our boundaries. Fuck it. If I do need to be a little bit of a bitch here and there, I will. But also, like, I'm not going to let the evil people get to me. I'm not going to let the, you know, random happenstances hurt my feelings or, you know, ruin my fucking day. It's like, no, you know yourself. I know you're confident. I know you're strong. I know you have a strong sense of intuition. Everybody who listens to this podcast kind of has that same kind of undertones and vibes. Like, trust, I know you because you're listening to me and I know myself. And all you have to do to tap into that energy, if you feel like you don't have it, is to trust in yourself. And how do you trust in yourself? By following your desires, your intuition, anything that you want. Baby, if you want ice cream, go get that ice cream. You want to try a new ice cream shop? Go try it. You want to try a new hobby? Go do it. You want to go do an activity? Get outside, go do it. You want to try something out? Like, you have to follow those inclinations of like desire, because that is who you truly are. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build strength. And summer is the perfect time to really hone in on that ability and dive into it. Now, like I said, you kind of have to also have an air of I don't give a fuck. Doing new things is going to scare you, but also it's like you're not actually in harm's way. Nothing bad's actually going to happen to you. Don't let people ruin your vibe. Don't let people encroach on your boundaries. You know, don't let people step all over you. You know who you are. You know what you need. Follow through. Listen to that. Run free like the fire horse you are, baby. Okay? Can you please talk about feeling stupid or other people not understanding you and making you feel stupid for being yourself? Oh, I'm so sorry if you're going through this. First of all, let me say this. PSA, if you're dealing with idiots out there, people who do not know themselves who hate themselves, who dislike themselves, who are not confident, who, are not proud of themselves, will project that shit onto you so fucking hard. So if you have someone in your life where it's like they're constantly talking down on you, they're constantly shitting on you, they're maybe making you feel bad about who you are or what you do or what you enjoy, those people, their internal world is so fucking miserable. And I don't think those are healthy people to have around you. So say you're dealing with a really close friend and you're like, damn, they just like, do they even like me? Like what's going on? Do they even like me? The thing is, they probably do like you. They probably do actually like you. They just don't fucking like themselves. And I don't think those are people you should waste your time keeping around you, because those are not going to be people who are going to want to build a healthy relationship with you. They're going to get into this weird internal competition of talking down on you, talking down on themselves. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be good. I think it's important to have people around you that have a good sense of self, who have a good sense of self-confidence, who have goals, who have ambitions. They are going to make you much more driven individual. They're going to make you a much more confident individual. You're also going to feel just like more secure in that relationship. But also, like, there's going to be randos out there who, if you're out wearing a sexy ass outfit, are going to side eye you. Little interactions like that. You know what I mean? Who maybe make you feel bad about yourself without actually saying it. Those people also miserable, or they just don't understand it. Like, you don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. That's something I had to accept very early on as a people pleaser. It's like, not everybody's gonna like me. I know who I am. I like myself. I also know, like, I'm not evil. I'm just like being me. There's nothing wrong in what I'm doing. I mean, if I'm being an evil, awful person and like being evil and horrible and someone talk shit on me, I get it. Absolutely. Valid. Real. But it's like, no. I know who I am. I know how I present myself. I know I present myself to the world. That's not going to be everybody's fucking vibe. Okay? When I'm out in my little mini skirt and my little halter top in the middle of fucking nowhere, Missouri, in a gas station, and the gas station workers looking me up and down like, who is this slut? It's like, yeah, no, I get their perspective, but also I'm not going to let that make me feel bad about myself. Like, I know I'm hot and sexy. Sorry you hate that, but like, I enjoy myself and that's all that matters. And also, it's a very natural reaction when people kind of try and tune you down a little bit to go, wait, but am I the problem? But like, am I wearing something weird? But did I do something bad? But this, but that. It is a very normal reaction to immediately go into that mindset because your brain is trying to fix an issue, but you can't fix fake issues. So you have to let yourself kind of enter that mindset of like, wait, but am I? And then you have to redirect and like reinforce with positive affirmations towards yourself. All right. Because sometimes with confidence, a lot of it is reworking your brain or working with your brain. Talk about, working with your brain. Of like, you get that initial insecurity of like, wait, but is it me? And you redirect and, reinforce, reinstate how you truly feel about yourself with facts, the reality of the situation. I know who I am. I like who I am. I do like my outfit. I feel confident, and I'm not gonna let this ugly, evil bitch make me feel different about myself just because they hate themselves. You know what I mean? I have that conversation a lot with myself, especially when I'm trying to figure out what's worth my mental space and what's worth actually thinking about. Like, if I do make a real problem, I'll spend time thinking about those things, working through that conversation, saying sorry, doing whatever, changing myself. But most of the time, when people are making you feel bad about yourself, when people don't like you for who you are, when they're like, you're doing this wrong, you're saying this wrong, you're behaving in a bad way, it's just because they don't like who you are and they want to exert control over you. You do not have to listen. You don't have to listen, especially with what they're saying, if it doesn't sit in reality, if it's not actually something bad that you're doing. And also, remove those people out of your life immediately. Okay? Even if it's a stranger, walk out of the store. Leave them. Let them be. Okay? Let them stay miserable where they are. If it's a friend, I mean, I understand with friends, you maybe want to have like a real conversation of, hey, you're acting fucking weird. And if you don't like me, I don't want to be friends because you're putting me down all the time. Or just, taking some space away, letting them be miserable over there while you're having a blast over here. Maybe eventually their confidence will build up and they'll want to reconnect at some point. But you have to protect your peace and protect your energy. And through knowing yourself, you will have that internal confidence. You will be able to, understand what's worth your time, what's worth actually redirecting, what's actually worth reinforcing, and also which people are stupid and just simply put don't like you. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You aren't. But that's okay because you're a good person and you're probably going to be a lot of people's cup of tea.
Hey, I just need some advice on how to just balance everything. I feel like there is so much shit going on in my life right now. Like first off, I'm starting my university, my interior design program. That's all online tomorrow. So that's happening. And then I have 2 jobs. I run a social media page for an antique store, and then I work at a care home. And then I also do a bunch of babysitting gigs and all of that. It's just like, how can I how do I just schedule better? I feel like I have no way of just organizing all of this, and it stresses me out so much. And it's what is happening? And so I'm going to be going through all of this schooling online and then juggling these 2 jobs and a bunch of other things. And it's just do you have any advice on balancing it all or organizing it to an extent? Thank you. Love you. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah.
Oh, I love you too. Okay, well, congratulations on being busy. I know you're like, what do you mean you're congratulating me? I'm so no, this is good things. All these things are blessings. So congratulations on all the blessings. The thing is, baby, you need a planner. You need a calendar. You need a planner. You need multiple planners. You need colored pens. You need an organization method. Okay, especially with me when I work for myself, when I'm doing so many things, when I'm trying to balance work life, hobbies, activities, horse things, parents out of town. When I'm trying to organize this all in my brain, it feels like there's no way to do it. There's no way I can do it all. There's no way I can organize it. There's no way I can actually achieve all these things, and I get overwhelmed and then I regress. I avoid. I don't do them. I get anxious about it, and so I completely just leave it alone instead of just handling that shit. And you need a planner. You need a planner, okay? Any simple planner will do. One that has the weeks, one that has the months. I like a physical planner. I also like to keep things in my my calendar on my phone. Just big things that are going on, appointments or hangouts or work hours. I keep those on my phone calendar. So if I'm talking to somebody in person and they're like, hey, are you free this day? It's well, let me check my phone. But at home, when I'm organizing, when am I getting groceries? When am I having time to paint? When am I going and doing this activity? This is hobby. Oh, someone asked me to hang out. When am I actually free? You have to have a physical planner. Yep, you do. All right. And when I'm organizing my physical planner, you start with non-negotiables. Work. Okay. Write that shit down. Work. Then you go to your appointments, whatever else is going on. Then you go to things that keep you sane and mentally available, such as groceries, laundry. Yes, I do schedule both those things in. And then you have free time. You would be surprised. Genuinely, you would be surprised. All these things are floating in your head. Oh my God, I have no time. I'm so anxious. There's so much shit going on. Once you take the time to write all this stuff down, you will realize just how much fucking time you have in the day. Okay. You know what? Something that really taught me this is when I was in nursing school and I was about to literally flunk the fuck out because I didn't know how to manage my time at all. I went to my academic advisor and they're like, all right, bitch, let's fucking get to work. Welcome to boot camp. Okay. And she gave me this this schedule, but it was just for one day. And then I would print off a new schedule for every single day. This is crazy, but this might help you just to kind of visualize what's going on. And the day would have every single moment of the day in 15-minute increments. Isn't that crazy? And so it'd start 5:30, 5:45, 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, all the way to 4 a.m. And then I would get in there and I'd be like, okay, wake up 8. Then I would be like, get ready for 15 minutes. All right. And then it's like, I have class these days. All right. I have time in between for lunch. This is when I usually go to the gym. Once you actually write down everything you're fucking doing minute by minute, you will realize how much time you have, how much flexibility you have, what areas of your life are maybe, the workload's really heavy on Wednesdays, but maybe it's really light on Thursdays. So maybe that'd be a good way for you to visualize it. Maybe you don't need to do that much of an in-depth dive, 15 minutes at a time every day of your life. But a simple planner, a simple calendar will do and will make you aware of just what you got going on, how you're going to handle it, work-life balance, and when you have free time to go spend time with friends, do your hobbies, do your activities, okay? Because it's good to know those things so then you're able to actually get out and live life. But it does take a little bit of work and self-awareness to be able to understand. But you got this. Like I said, also with all those things and activities, you're just going to have to do it tired as well. But you'll be fulfilled. Tired, yes, but fulfilled. Okay. How many blessings? You have so many blessings going on. So exciting. How fun. What a fun life you're living. You're doing so many things. Wow. Congratulations. I'm very much so like you. So I'm proud of your hustle. But yes, stay sane by staying prepared and looking ahead. I am 19 and all my friends are dating ugly bums. Like no princess treatment at all. Baby, that's because you're 19. Every man at 19 is a bum unless they're born into money. And even then they probably still are. Like, it's a part of being young and dating, and that's when you date for love. I'm just kidding. Listen. When you're young and you fall in love and you're just like having a good time, it's solely off of vibes. Like you're working a minimum wage job. You're probably in college. Maybe you don't even have a job. You're young. It is what it is. Now, princess treatment is one thing because even if you don't have money and even if he's not buying you handbags and cars and all this crazy stuff, you still deserve a basic level of respect and treatment in your life, and especially from your partner, okay? And this looks like, and I'm talking like bare fucking minimum, like every relationship should look like this. This looks like just like common respect and hearing you out, listening to your problems, talking through it, low tempers. No hard conversation should ever end up in yelling, throwing things, physical violence, threats. Threats are not okay. Your partner should never use like curse words at you. I'm a very big proponent of that. They should never call you any sort of names that is demeaning or mean in any sort of way. I understand sometimes as partners we make jabs here and there, but like it should never be anything that is like seriously harmful or demeaning. I am a big proponent also on like not gender roles, but like if I'm in a straight relationship, my partner should open the door for me. I open the door for strangers. My partner should open the door for me. My partner should open the car door for me. They should, if we're walking on the street, they should walk closer to the cars. Those are like little things you can do for free. That is princess treatment. Knowing a simple facts and things about you. Oh, they really like having this clean. Let me make sure I do that. They really like, this certain candy. Maybe I'll go buy $1 candy and surprise them with it. It's so simple. A bouquet of flowers is $5 showing up, surprising them with that. Like it doesn't take a lot of money to have the princess treatment. I think a lot of men are like, princess treatment, I'm not buying you a handbag, I can't afford that. It's like, no, how about basic respect, care, understanding, and simply knowing your partner and who they are. It is that simple. You don't need $1 million for princess treatment. You just need cognitive ability. So yeah, if your friends are dating men that are like not treating them right, not taking care of them, not being nice to them. Yes, you need to be nice to your partner, not, being kind, not being kind to you as well. I think how your friends' partners treat you is a big sign, okay? And like your partner should treat your friends well. If they're controlling, if they're demeaning, your partner should never tell you what to wear. I mean, sometimes like my partner will be like, yeah, pick out an outfit for me. I want to match you. That's cute. But your partner should never be like, no, you can't hang out with that person. No, you can't go to that event. Or if you do go to an event and they cause drama every time you go to an event, That's a problem. You need to be able to hang out without them without an issue occurring. You need to be able to wear whatever the fuck you want. You need a confident partner to be able to do that, not an insecure one. These are all just like basic respect and dignity things that every single relationship should have. Princess treatment is just taking it a little bit further and just knowing, you know what, I'm going to step up and show out for my partner, you know? And that can happen in any sort of gender combination of a relationship. Sometimes I want to just like show my partner a little extra love, call it the prince treatment. You know, it kind of goes both ways, but a lot of it just comes from knowing your partner's interests and desires and following through with that, taking the extra step further. And I mean, with time, they'll eventually get there, but also I think with just simply liking your partner, you will naturally do that. Like, I'm not kidding. When you like your partner, you will want to go above and beyond. So yes, I mean, if your partner's dating a loser, all you can really do is like kind of hear them out, and eventually they'll complain and say something and you can be like, all right, maybe you should leave them. You only get a couple of passes though. You can't every single time be like, leave him, leave him, leave him, leave him, leave him. Otherwise they're going to stop coming to you with their problems. And that's a problem in itself. Eventually they will leave them, and then you will be there with the binder of memories of what the fuck they've done, and you can remind them whenever they want to go back. You see what I'm saying? You can't have a lot of control over your friends and who they date. You can just be there for them and also like tell them what they do deserve and ask them like, well, do you think you deserve this treatment? If they're complaining about their boyfriend, be like, well, do you think you deserve that? Do you think you should settle for that? That's a great way to kind of reinforce, make them think about it a little bit instead of being like, just leave him, girl. It's like, okay, easier said than fucking done. But yeah, I mean, 19, there's not a lot of money there to be like spoiled in any sort of aspect, but there is physical ways you can spoil your partner simply by knowing them and wanting to show up for them. And that is just basic decency and respect that every relationship should have. Tips for being more vulnerable when communicating with your partner. It's hard sometimes, LOL. It is. I mean, anytime you have a problem with someone, it's kind of hard to be like, at least with me, it's kind of hard to be like, hey, can we talk about something? Like, that's a hard conversation to have. But also, I think sometimes with conflict and sometimes with the hard conversations, actually, usually, as long as you guys are like respectful in the conflict, like, don't be afraid of conflict because it shouldn't be a big explosion. That's not what conflict is. That's a fight, and that's not good. Conflict, I mean like, hey, let's talk about this thing. Let's adjust this behavior. I don't like the way you said that. Hear me out kind of vibes. You know what I mean? Those things will bring people closer together, and it will strengthen your relationship if you both are willing to take on the challenge and take on that hard conversation and make the changes that need to happen. I'm not even kidding. Sometimes at work even, it'll be like, hey girl, sorry if I snapped on you. I do really apologize. It's like, you know what? Thank you for saying that. Like, I mean, I'm not taking it personally. I understand it was crazy, but I appreciate you just like coming to me and saying that, you know, putting your ego aside and having that hard conversation of, I didn't mean to snap. Sorry. Hope we're good. Maybe it's like, hey, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. You know, it's kind of hard to say those things, but if you're in a real solid, healthy relationship, they will hear that. They will go, you know what? I understand your perspective. Let me make some changes and let's move forward. Now, the real bonding happens when that person is open to hearing you out, open to changes, open to adjusting, open to moving forward. Conflict can be extremely stressful when you're dealing with people who aren't going to listen to you, who don't give a fuck about your problems, who don't give a fuck about you. And if you find yourself in a relationship or a friendship or anything where any sort of simple conversation of, you know, that is maybe a little bit more conflicting than the fun conversations can be, if those turn into a big fucking explosion, those are people who don't love and care about you. Those are people who don't have the wherewithal or emotional stability to have simple conversations. And those things, it's just a waste of fucking time. You're not here to train people into behaving well or being able to understand each other or have basic empathy. And I think that's a big ass waste of time. But bringing up your emotions, bringing up your problems is important, you know. Sitting there and suffering with your problems is not going to make it easier, is not going to make your life easier, is not going to make your partner's life easier. It's going to turn into resentment. It's going to turn into self-hate. And although you think maybe the people pleaser in you is like, well, I don't want to say anything because blah, 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 blah. Even though you think you're making the situation easier, you're actually making it 10 times harder than if you just bring it up. I am quick. Anytime, even if it's like an insecure thought, a this or that, I am quick to bring it up. Like, I'd rather just say it out loud and I'd rather get to a resolution than let it sit and fester and get anxious about it and overwhelmed. It's like, I have people in my life that I know I can bring these things up with and talk about it and things will be fine. Like, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? But when I was in a bad relationship where it was like, I could be like, hey, let's not slam the door, and he would just like blow the fuck up. It's like, yeah, I needed to get out of there because that was a place that I couldn't even bring up my feelings or emotions without being demeaned in some sort of way. It is scary, but also once you realize how quickly things resolve with normal people when you bring things up, you will become more confident in your conflict skills. And also, conflict is a very good thing to master in adulthood because it'll make you a better person. It'll make you a more understanding person. It'll make you a better friend. It'll make you a better partner. Period, point blank. It'll make you a better worker. You wanna network, CEO, boss, queen. Okay, yeah, you need to be able to handle conflict. You need to be able to have hard conversations. And that just includes removing your emotions from it and looking at the facts. I feel this way. I would love it if we took this turn. I would love it if this happened. Hopefully you can hear me and understand my perspective, and hopefully we can move forward from this. It is that simple. But when you're used to things blowing up, exploding, huge, massive, bad situations, whenever you simply bring up your emotions or your feelings, I understand why you might get a little fearful. And I don't want you to be fearful. It just takes a little bit of like confidence to bring it up, to have that conversation. I think you'd be surprised how it goes. What's the quote? Is it better to speak or to die? It's like, baby, I'm speaking. I'm speaking every single time. I'm saying it. I'm saying it out loud. I'm speaking up because what are we going to do? Sit here and hold our words to ourselves and die? No, baby, that ain't any way to live. Okay. I'm also just like an external person, so I'm quick to say what's on my mind. But also it's like, I say it in a very calm, cool, collected manner. Keep your emotions chill, look at the facts of it all, bring it up in a very calm, cool manner, and I think you'd be surprised how easily conflict can actually be. Why do my dreams bring up insecurities like my boyfriend cheating? It ruins my morning for real. Okay, we talked about this in the Patreon episode last week, but like, am I the only one who does not give a fuck about dreams? Like, dreams to me, baby, that's not reality. That's like a fun other side of reality. Sometimes not fun other side of reality, but it feels like I'm watching a movie more than like being in real life. Does that make sense? I don't know, maybe I'm like not an emotional person, but I don't care if I have cheating dreams because Dream Hannah really got my back. I think because I don't take it so seriously. Dream Hannah is like, oh, he cheated on me? Okay, well, great. Now we're packing his shit and we're throwing it over the fucking balcony for the homeless people to come get. Like, she is quick to take action where it's like, like your heart kind of stops a little bit. And then she is quick to take action against those things. I don't know. It's like, it's so not real that I think giving it emotional reality is kind of a waste of time. Like, I'm a highly anxious person. I'm a highly sensitive person. I get sad real easily, very easily. Last week was a very hard week for me emotionally, and it really got to a point where I was like what matters and what doesn't matter? What is worth my anxiety and what's not worth my anxiety? What is worth my emotional attention and what's not worth my emotional attention? And dreams are never worth my emotional attention. Even if it's like, oh my God, I got murdered in my sleep. It's like, okay, well, I'm waking up. You know, it's like you can't let it get to you. And I think the less you let it affect you, the more fun the dreams become. Because I used to have nightmares all the time. Constantly, especially when I was a child. I used to have bad nightmares, and it was because I was so fearful of going to sleep and I gave it so much emotional reality that then like they started getting out of control. They started kind of like taking a hold of me. And so once I stopped, I was just like, all right, we gotta it doesn't matter if I do fall asleep and I get murdered in my sleep, I'm still waking up. Like, if I do get cheated on in my sleep, that doesn't mean I'm getting cheated on in real life. Like, once I kind of worked through that emotional processing, my dreams became way more fun. Where it's like, okay, silly, fun, good times, random excursions. Maybe I'm in outer space one night. Maybe I'm here. Maybe I'm there. I honestly don't dream often, but when I do, it's like, if it is good or bad or whatever, baby, we're waking up and we're moving on with our day. You know what I mean? And also, like, if you give it emotional reality, especially like the cheating dreams, it's such a waste of time. Like, what are you gonna do? Wake up and fight with your partner, and your partner's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, dude, I didn't do anything. Now they feel bad. You're making them feel like shit because nothing happened. Like, you know what I mean? It's a massive waste of time. It's a massive waste of emotional time. And like, you have to look at dreams like movies. When I watch a horror movie, yeah, I get a little anxious for a second, but like, I'm not letting that affect my life. Maybe I'm watching like a drama movie. I'm getting a little anxious for a second, but I'm not letting that shit really affect my life. I'm going home and I'm moving on. And that's kind of how I view dreams, just for my own sanity. Otherwise, baby, it's crazy. Otherwise, it's crazy. I also, anybody have like reoccurring dreams? So funny. I used to have this reoccurring dream all the time of like this old town, almost like an old Western town, you would think, with like stagecoaches, whatever, driving through. And it would be like, I would wake up in my room, not like actually wake up, but dream wake up in my room. I'd walk outside to the forest, and then like on the other side of the forest, it'd be like this old town, and I would just like be hanging out, whatever. And then I wake up, like nothing crazy ever happened. And I would have that reoccurring dream like probably once a month, like often. As I got older, it was a little bit of distance in between, maybe like 6 months, maybe it'd be like only a year. But I remember one time in high school, I had the same dream again, but this time the whole town was burning down, completely burning down. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, what the fuck? And I never had that dream again. But one time I was going through like the history of my town, and you guys, I'm not even kidding. We were like looking up the plans of the town, like the history, all the things. I'm from like a little teeny tiny area. Like, there's not a lot of history, babe. If you know about it, you know about it. And the thing I was dreaming of was a real place next to my house that had burned down. Mic drop. Me, like, dreams aren't real. That's a little spooky. That's a little weird. But also, it's like, if I look too far into it, I'm going to go into like some weird psychosis. So I'm just going to let it be what it is for my own mental sanity. But isn't that crazy? Wild. Our subconscious mind, so interesting. There's a lot more research to be done. But like, I am not a scientist. That is not my duty to be researching. I can barely keep myself emotionally stable as it is. Like, I do not need to be looking that far deep, okay? My ex broke, no contact. Eek! How to stay focused on the future and not the past. Ooh. Well, Mercury retrograde is definitely not the time to get back with your ex, but if you do want to get back with your ex, just wait till this is over. Not to give you the okay. And also, like, it's like, okay, you're still on his mind, period. But you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing forward. You do. This is why I say, after a breakup, you have to make a cons list of all the reasons why it did not work out, of all the weird little things that happened that you were like, I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with that vibe. I don't fuck with that energy. I don't fuck with the way he talked to me. I don't like the shoes he wears. Like, whatever, as small or as big as possible, you have to make the cons list. So when things like this do happen, you can immediately open the files, go through the facts, not the emotions, the facts of it all, and realize, damn, do I really want to let all that baggage back into my life? No, baby girl, no, you don't. And simultaneously, someone asked, how to healthily get over an ex? Is it bad if I go to another man to forget about him? Here's the thing. I do truly believe in you have to get under somebody to get over somebody, but that doesn't necessarily mean sleep with them. I think you just have to start interacting with like new social circles, new things, new vibes, new people. You have to get new experiences into your life so you don't feel like you're living with one foot in the past and one foot in the present. You have to start moving into the future. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sleep with anybody. Girl, if that's your prerogative, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and slut shame you. That's for sure. Baby, I'm the last person to ever do that. But I will say you maybe need to develop like a new crush, a new hyperfixation, a new person, a new place, a new thing, whatever it is. Maybe it's a hobby. I don't care. Maybe it's like I'm now going to the club all the time. Whatever it is, like you do have to just force yourself to move forward a little bit. Maybe it's a random makeout. Maybe it's like a random thing here and there. But you have to kind of force yourself out of that like circle, that loop you've been going through that you're so used to, that you created with your partner, which is very natural. It's not a bad loop. It's just what you're used to. You have to force yourself out of your comfort zone to create a new comfort. And I think that's how you truly get over people, honestly, genuinely. And I mean, that's from just personal experience. Craving to just leave my town and everyone and saying goodbye without saying goodbye. Am I the problem? No, but you might have some problems, that's for sure. And not like real problems, just like, but you know what Lana said, everywhere you go, you take yourself. That's not a lie. Real. Like if you're feeling unfulfilled with where you are, you're going to feel unfulfilled with where you go. Now, I am a big proponent of like, you need to switch up your environment. It is so important, I think, when you're young to move, to change scenery, whether it's like from one area of town to the next, or maybe you just need a new apartment, new energy. Maybe you need to move out of your parents' house. Maybe you need to move halfway across the country. I don't know, whatever you're feeling called to. I think all those things are very important and inspiring, especially if you need to build self-confidence or to just like follow your dreams or follow your intuition. Like you owe it to yourself. But also it's like, let's pause and stop. Why are we not happy here? This is something I had to work on with myself, where it was like, I need to move because I'm so unhappy with all these things. And it's like, well, all these things that you're unhappy with are attached to your body and soul because they're like bad habits, bad beliefs, bad understandings. So let's work on those things and let's figure out how to be happy here where you are, so then you can be happier wherever you go next, you know? So a lot of it was like, oh, Kansas City's so unfulfilling, blah, 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 blah. It's like, actually, you're just not getting out and doing things. You're not getting out. You're not going and experiencing and doing things. Oh, I don't have any friends. Well, you're not reaching out to people. You're not hitting people up. You're not being annoying to go hang out with people. Oh, well, I just blah, 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 blah. Like, there's so many excuses. But the thing is, if you hold yourself to like that limiting belief, that limiting mindset, then yeah, where you are now might seem very shitty, but also it's going to follow you wherever the fuck you go next. So instead of living the movie It Follows, scary, like, let's figure out what you're unsatisfied with. Let's see if we can physically change it here and work on it. And then let's also work on maybe moving forward, going somewhere else, traveling, whatever it may be. It's like, yeah, you know what? I want a 70 and sunny kind of place to live forever. Sure, LA will fix that. Kansas City's not the place to be. But also me being unhappy with like social circles or not getting outside or locking myself inside too long. It's like, if I don't break that while I'm here in the now, in the moment, if I don't work on it, I'm going to get there and I'm going to be even more inside because it's somewhere I'm not familiar with. You know what I mean? So maybe you are the problem, but that's okay. I'm very much so often the problem in my own life. And honestly, thank God, I'm so tired of other people causing me problems. It's like, it's okay if I am the problem. I feel like I can work with myself better than other people. But also it's like, you got to work with yourself. You got to know what you're doing wrong, why you're doing wrong, bad habits, bad beliefs, limiting beliefs. And you got to go, you know what? I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to do that thing anymore. I'm going to work on it. And you can work on it. You can do it.
Oh my God, Queen. I've never sent a voice memo before, so I didn't really know how to record it, so I just wanted to record a video. But I want to take a bong rip first because I think it just makes sense. So, cheers. I literally love you so much. I've been watching the pod and listening since literally the first episode. And I just want to say I love you so much, and I'm so appreciative for all of the advice that you give, and you've literally gotten me through so many things like you don't even know. For some reason, I swear we're always like in sync. Like whenever I'm going through something, like you bring it up in the pod. So yeah, I just wanted like a little advice. I just turned 26 and I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like lost. Like I just feel like I need a little sense of direction, and I just need like maybe like a journal prompt or something to like, I don't know, make me like get deep with myself and open up and just like kind of figure out what I want to do next. So if you have any advice on gaining a sense of direction and I don't know, just figuring out what I want to do in this next chapter of life, love you.
Oh my god, that was my girl, Daisha. I think I said your name right. I'm sorry, Daisha. Oh my god, we've been mutuals for the longest time on Instagram, but if you need more like smoke baddie content, she's the one to go to. Green Goddess underscore AZ is her Instagram. But oh, I love you. Thank you for listening for so long. I didn't know you listened for this much. And also like I feel you on the whole 26 thing. I feel like 26 and 27, you kind of hit this place where you're like, now what? Now what? And you start panicking a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a great time for you to kind of recenter, refocus, and get excited about the future. You know, you don't have to be so fearful about the future just because you don't know what's going to happen. Doesn't mean it's not going to be amazing, beautiful, wonderful. You just kind of have to like set some goals and go after them. But in order to set those goals, great journal prompt. I do this a lot. I do this journal prompt a lot because my mind changes a lot. But I will be like, okay, 3 years from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, whatever kind of distance or length you feel comfortable looking towards, that's going to be your journal prompt. Let's say 1 year from now, where do you want to be if all of your wildest dreams came true? What would you want to be doing? What does your daily life look like? What kind of maybe content are you creating? What habits are you doing? What activities are you up to? What kind of friends do you have in your life? Do you have a partner in your life? Do you have any animals in your life? What does your apartment look like? What is your breakfast? What is your lunch? What is your dinner? What is everything? Where are you living? What city are you in? Are you traveling? Like, literally get as detailed as possible as you could about where you want to be in that time frame. It'll give you this perception of like what you want your life to look like if you could dream as wide as possible. And also like you'd be surprised how much of it comes true once you dare to dream and dare to look forward. It also give you a great idea on like, okay, well, dream Hannah does this, so I'm gonna also do this thing. Or, you know, I have this habit that I do, so I'm also gonna do this thing. It's a great little journal prompt to do. It'll get you excited about the future, not so fearful, not so scared, and it might actually get you excited because I know beautiful things are coming from you. You just have to set your sights on them. But I love you. Thank you for ripping that bong for me. Speaking of, I'm about to rip the bong because this podcast is coming to an end. And it's the end of the day for me, so it's time for me to smoke and get on with my weekend. But with that being said, you guys, thank you for listening. Oh, new vlog for the week up. I went to the thrift store and just got stoned at the thrift store. And there's a little thrift haul, thrift excursion on YouTube, Hannah Marlene 444. If I didn't answer your question and you want it answered, join the Patreon, patreon.com/smokeseshuddy. I post a lot there, a lot, all right? And we do extra episodes every week where I answer every single one of your questions. I also upload the vlogs early there. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. And with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah.